can advance the human condition and how we can make Nigeria better, united, yes, but on principles of justice, equity, fairness, inclusion, and restructuring or devolution of powers takes you there. And the APC abandoned it, even with that massive work done. And the ADC is not showing any direction.
They just submitted a committee to draft his manifesto,
well,
led by Odigi Oyegu, just submitted
exactly, and with Chief Oyegu, who is a respected statesman, and I expect that he will know what to do. But for now, I can only speak about what I know. And what I'm saying is that ADC wasn't an option because of it looks more like a coalition for power, as it was in 2014, 2015. And that's not good enough. It's good to come together to think of taking power. But I ask, particularly with the experience of 2014-15, now we are still grappling with the same issues that brought them together to form the APC, to take over power from the PDP. And now the same problems are there, and even worse. So you have more corruption, you have more insecurity, the economy has gone down the drain.
For the NDC, it's just all about federalism?
No. I said that's just one.
Okay.
I said the NDC is an ideological party, it's an ideological movement. And Amechi, I don't want a situation where I and a number of my colleagues, now we're all in our 60s, a number of them, I don't know how history will record us if, with all that it has pleased God to allow us to be in terms of leadership of this country at different levels, I don't want to live an active political life without bequeathing to Nigeria, and particularly the generation coming behind, an ideological party. Political parties are not just about power, are not just about one person making money or getting appointments or getting big contracts or showing that he has more power than others or competing as to who is a better tout or who is a better, a more favored brigand. We can't be a country of that. And so the NDC idea is to see how we can evolve an ideological movement. I just mentioned federalism. That's important, but that's not the only one.
But is it number one?
Oh, yes, it's key.
What are the other key ones?
You have to talk about respect for the environment, environmental injustice. As a matter of fact, from the part of the country where I come from, what is going on there is environmental terrorism. And no government, no party has made that a front burner. People are interested in taking over oil wells and giving it to their brothers and friends and cronies. That's all they do. As Sarah Wiwa said, and I was a student of Sarah Wiwa as well. So I have an advantage that a lot of people from my generation don't have. I learned under the feet of a lot of masters, okay? Sarah Wiwa used to tell us that, look, in this nation, oil is thicker than blood. Okay? So I have not seen any party address the issues of the environment. And then when we talk of the environment, it's not just the despoiled, polluted environment of the Niger Delta or the oil producers.
Yes, that's what I wanted to ask.
You have to deal with climate change.
think of compatriots in the Sahel region, the core northern areas along the border. So when you say is it aligned with them? Because when you say environment and federalism, it's still small to the Niger Delta, which has been at the forefront of resource control.
And that is also important. The feelings of the Niger Delta are important. No less important than any other feeling. But what I'm saying is that environment is not just about Niger Delta. No. There's a lot of environmental degradation going on in the southeast. Gully erosion, nobody's talking about that. There's a lot of environmental degradation going on in the north. In terms of the effect of climate change, the Lake Chad is drying up and livelihoods are affected. People are displaced. You see people displaced and moving down south, causing a lot of crisis and so on. That is environment, okay? Afforestation, deforestation, these are environmental challenges, okay? Climate change. And incidentally, I chaired the Senate committee on ecology and climate change. Climate change is affecting this country in a terrible way, but the government has no coherent policy because to them it's not important. Okay? You can say one or two statements here and there, but there's no
the Climate Change Council.
There's no coherence.
That is championing these issues.
But I oversee that committee, so I can tell you that there's the kind of conflict of policies, conflict of operational institutions is alarming. Meanwhile, as we are building every year, nature is destroyed more than we are building. By the flood and if you go to the riverine areas of Nigeria, predominantly in the Niger Delta, but not only so in the Niger Delta, in the Lagos side of it, if you go to even states in the north, because the River Niger and the Benue pass through the north down and pass through Bayelsa and so on to the Atlantic. All those ones are covering, you know, there's a erosion. The sea is eating fast into the land. Communities that we used to know while growing up are no more there. And governments are silent, government after government. The reason is because the parties have no place, no real, genuine commitment to the environment. So, federalism, environment. Then the governing priorities are very wrong in this country. So the NDC has brought to the fore the primacy of national security and intelligence. We must overhaul, we must reform them, and we must fund them appropriately, okay? And so on and so forth. Education. We used to be a nation with the best schools in Africa.
So your manifesto is slightly different from what we see in other parties.
It's not even slight. It's a paradigm shift.
A complete departure.
Oh yeah, paradigm shift. And anchored on service.
Okay.
What a number of the political elites in Nigeria have done is that they have turned democracy. Democracy has now been killed and buried in Nigeria.